What's up guys, Woo here, back again with another Division 2 build video guys. In today's build, I'm bringing you some DPS, some high damage at a rate of knots. I'm really enjoying this, I am. I hate to say it with gritted teeth. I like this DPS build. It gives me some shudders really when I'm utilising this setup because it hits hard. Gives me a superb amount of survivability, and of course guys, I like seeing those damage numbers fly through the roof. So of course guys, if you enjoy this build, you enjoy this video, you know what to do guys, thumbs doodle, it helps, it really does, don't forget to do that. And of course guys, if you're new to the channel, drop the woo bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's woo this. Peeps, here it is. Now the eagle-eye amongst you that have watched the gameplay may have noticed I have used Survivalist and Gunner, and I was testing both. And in terms of damage numbers, I didn't really see a difference, but what I did see guys is utilizing Gunner gave me that little bit more survivability because again guys, I'm rolling with two healing skills, and of course the striker drone I'm using on the survivalist setup gives me a little bit of damage, which is nice. Yeah, it is nice. And then I've got the Mendicika mine, which gives me some healing through the survivalist specialization. That's okay, but I went for the Gunner spec. I felt that was a bit more useful because I'm running with two healing skills, and not to mention companion glass cannon works a treat. And guys, I can't see past that armor on kill. And with this, you are a killing machine because you're accurate, you're on point, and you're just smashing through any big fat NPC. So guys, Gunner, I felt edged it in all fairness. But guys, utilize whatever you deem fit that suits your playstyle. See guys, offensive, 1 defensive, 0 utility stats. This is filthy for me guys. It's a bit filthy because it should be the other way around. 5 utility, 1 defensive and 0 offensive. So guys, forgive me, but I'm enjoying this build. So let's go for the gear. The mask is Fenris Group AB, which is 10% damage, 12.6% weapon damage, max crit hit chance, 11% critical hit damage, and an 11.9% critical hit damage mod. You can roll with whatever you wish on the mask, guys. I just went for this because it was useful for what I need on the build. Now, in terms of the holster, it is Seska Viroba SRO, and I'm utilising that, guys, very simply because I want that 10% critical hit chance. I want to crit. The more I crit, the more damage I do. So, guys, it's integral. You have one piece of Seska on the build, what I find anyway. And with this, guys, you can see this piece alone gives me an extra 16% critical hit chance, and that's why I'm utilising this. Now the knee pads is the all singing, all dancing Sawyer's knee pads. And guys, for the first person to say re-roll it, get it max, I have re-rolled this 8 times, and this is the best that I have. So anyway, it is what it is. Who care about his talent is really good. You are in cover or immobile on this build. So it cannot be staggered by explosions. Increases total weapon damage by 3% each second you are not moving. Stacks up to 10 until you start moving. All stacks lost 10 seconds after moving. So guys, very simply, stay in cover. Stick your ass in cover. Make sure you get that full 10 stacks because that is an extra 30% weapon damage. And you'll have that for up to 10 seconds when you move. Guys, it works an absolute sensational treat on this because that extra weapon damage hits very hard. By all means, you could go for more weapon damage and more crit damage. That is an idea, of course, but I'll lose that element of survivability. And getting an extra 30% weapon damage is key on this, guys. It shreds, it really does, and we'll demonstrate in the range after the build. The gloves, guys, are Grupo Sombra SA, and that's 15% critical damage. Max weapon damage, 5.6% critical chance, and 11.7% critical damage. I find it, again, nice to have one-piece Grupo because of that 15% critical damage. It's key to elevate the crit on the build. Then we go through the backpack, and this is the first piece of Providence Defense, and that is 15% headshot damage, 10% critical chance, and then, guys, weapon damage 11.3%, 12% critical damage, 7.6% headshot damage, 11.8% critical damage as an offensive mod, and the talent companion. While you're within 5 meters of an ally or skill, total weapon damage is increased by 45%. Ultimately, guys, pair this with Sawyer's knee pads. Ultimately, yes, you're going to get 45% extra weapon damage. That means, yeah, you guessed it, you're going to hit very hard. There are alternatives, of course, guys. Vigilance is a really good alternative. Composure is another really good alternative. I just went for Companion simply because sometimes I like to get up close and personal sometimes because I'm a little bit crazy, a little bit gung-ho, and I enjoy getting NPCs' faces. And the sheer raw carnage you are outputting on this build, you can afford to do that. So guys, but of course, as always, you roll with whatever deems necessary for your playstyle. For me, on this, Companion is really good. And then the chest piece, guys, is the second piece of Province Defense. And it's the Sacrifice chest piece, guys. Sacrifice, yeah. I think it's called Sacrifice because you are the sacrificial lamb utilizing this particular chest piece because you are like butter. One shot, you're down. However, with this, you have that little bit of survivability because you have the one-piece armor, which is Soy's knee pads, and that's why you're getting that 913k armor, which gives you that more survivability, and plus the extra 30% weapon damage pairs nicely with this. See, guys, this is an awesome piece. 15% weapon damage, max armor regen, 12% critic damage, and 11.6% critical hit damage. It's all about the talent perfect glass cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you take is amplified by 60%. Now, guys, I've ran this using all red. So what I've done, I put in another piece of Province Defense to replace the Soy's knee pads, and I was hitting hard. Not as hard when this is fully procced, but I was hitting very, very hard. But also, guys, I was so just, again, not in the fight enough because of your lack of survivability. And again, in that respect, you're just, again, a make weight for your team. And that's not what you want. You don't want to be carried by anyone or anything in this game. So you do need that element of survivability. And again, the knee pads, they do that in abundance, and plus it elevates your damage through the roof. And heroic content, guys, you do spend a bit of time in cover as well. I have not tested this in legendary missions. I've not done that yet. However, it has a home because of the damage output. So, guys, let's take a look at the weapons. Now, I'm using the Fel SA58. You may have noticed once the gameplay was running, thinking, why is WOOO using this shit weapon? Now, this shit weapon is actually really good. It dropped like this for me. And again, when a weapon or a piece of gear or whatever it may be, or it be a rainbow roll and all that jazz, if it drops fully max god roll, then I've just got the urge to test it and urge to play with it. And again, that's just, again, curiosity killed the cat and all that. But I had to try this particular setup with the talent nearsighted. Receive 80% stability at the cost of 35% optimal range. I really wanted to test this out. And again, I've got potato aim, guys. I'm no PvPer, but still, using this is awesome because you can nail your headshots. And because you're using a bit of Province Defense, because there's a little bit of headshot damage on the build, it shreds. It really does. And the weapon is actually quite nice. The RPM is low, but the base damage is really high. I think the MK16 to kind of compare it, but this is hard. It really does. So this, guys, is a really good AR to use in PvE. PvP, I have tested this very, very briefly, and it did me some decent numbers in PvP. Again, I'm no PvPer, guys. I ain't, but I enjoy taking these weird off-meta weapons and builds into PvP and seeing if they actually work. And guys, yeah, this weapon does have value in PvP. So make sure you test it. Let me know in the comments section. So in terms of mods on this, guys, let's have a look. It's critic chance, it is rounds, critic chance, and of course, guys, critical hit damage. The secondary, I rarely use this, but when I do, I can't see past the harmony. I really, really like the harmony. I think it's a really good weapon. Again, someone will tell me in the comments section it's, underpowered and all that, but I like the skill damage, I like the weapon damage, I like the boosts. And again, I was using this with the survivalist and getting some really nice 1.6 million crits, working very nicely. And given just you spamming your rifle, spamming your trigger finger, you're causing some nice carnage. But again, guys, it's personal preference. I utilise my Fel about 85 to 90% of the time, and sometimes I switch to this if there's no ammo, or guys, I just, again, quickly need to get a move on, then I'll switch to this. But guys, as always, roll with whatever you wish. I'm just using this, and it works for me. And the sidearm is all about the Liberty, and again, I'm just using this because, guys, that it's a beastly weapon. And on this build, I'm doing over 2.5, I think it's 2.8 million critical hits on this beast. And again, there's no DNH on this build, so that, you know, I could get this over 3 million. Powerful, it really is. Anyway, guys, the skills, guys, they're there just to make sure they're proccing my talents. That's it. And in terms of the fixer drone, don't worry about the 4.2 second cooldown. It's all about, yeah, you know it, the skill haste. I have not enabled it. You know, I always forget, guys, always forget. So don't worry about the cooldown. The healing is 19k. It is what it is. It's that little trickle. But what it does give me is that companion proc. And that's key. And that's why I'm utilising this. And then we have, guys, the chem launcher, which is there simply because it gives me a little bit of sustenance, a little bit of survivability. And we know that the chem launcher does give a nice, healthy chunk of armour. And I do like it. I really do. But again, I wish it was a little bit more, but that will do me. It will do me, guys, because, again, I just like to be alive a little bit longer. Let's take a look at the stats, guys. Now, in terms of my awesome fell, 142,000, nearly 143,000 weapon damage. My critical hit chance is 48.4%. Again, if you remove the Sawyer's knee pads, this can easily be 54.5%. And again, in terms of my watch level, just to let you know, I've just started my critical hit chance. So I'm about 0.5, or sorry, 0.4 or 0.6%, I can't remember. So there's still room to improve this crit hit chance, just on this build. The crit hit damage is 156.9%. Again, using something like, again, if you go down the route of the third piece of Providence Defense to replace the Sawyer's knee pads, I'm going to get another 15% crit hit damage, 171%, and then a max roll of 12%, that's 183.9% critical hit damage, and some more crit hit chance. So guys, yes, it will work, but at the same time, your survivability goes down to next to zero, pretty much, because there's no armor whatsoever. And again, a couple of shots and you're dead. And personally, I prefer to have this bit of stack of damage that keeps you in the fight longer, and again, does more damage. So it's entirely up to you, but for me, I feel that's the best way to set this up, is go down the Sawyer's knee pads route. That's about it, guys. Let me just show you in the range how powerful this is. Right, okay, let's just switch to very hard first. So we're in cover. And we can see the stack. Again, we just have to wait for the stack of Sawyer's knee pads, and then we'll start kicking some ass. Chewing bubblegum, kicking ass, and all that Duke Nukem shit. Let's have a look. You see the damage go up. 717k. Over 800k. Now, what are these headshots, Mr. Who? Let's have a look. Over 1 million crit. Yeah, you can see, guys, how powerful this is. And again, there's no recoil whatsoever, and I'm just, again, I'm not moving. My thumb is not on the thumbstick. It's just holding left trigger and then holding the right trigger. And that's how accurate and stable this beast is. And that's why I've opted for something like this talent, which is, again, all about extra stability, the weapon handling. It really eases your way through content. And it makes me hit headshots more often, which in turn gives me more damage. You could go down the route of something like, again, strained, because of the low RPM. So you're firing for longer. Strained would have a lot of benefit on this build if you have a good aim. For me, I don't. So I'd like, yes, that nearsighted talent to give me more chance to proc those headshots. But you see, guys, it's feckin' awesome. It really is. So in terms of look at that stability, it's yeah. So all I do is hold in the left trigger and then fire, and there's no movement, none whatsoever. And it is a laser beam, and that's why I like dealing this 1 million plus damage to NPCs. When everything's procced and the stars are aligned, you're hitting like a bazooka. This is why it works for me. But guys, yeah, I hope you enjoy the build. This is a DPS one. It's a beast. This is really handy in PvE. You've seen the numbers. I'm getting some hugely weird negative numbers, and it is absolutely great. And I love kick-ass chewing bubblegum with this build. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.